In today's video, we're going to show you 5 common and very useful joints that can be made with Infinity Tools' Datonator Master Set. First up is a tongue and groove joint. This is a joint commonly made on the long edge of boards. A rabbet is cut on 2 sides of a board, leaving a tongue between them. For most boards measuring 3/4 of an inch thick, the tongue is a 1/4 inch thick and about a 1/2 inch long. We're using a shop-made sacrificial fence that lets us bury the blade in the fence. Using a zero clearance throat plate is safer and more accurate for this operation. We want our Dados stack to be wider than the 1/2 inch width of cut, so I've added chipper blades to make the stack 5/8 of an inch wide. Set the blade height to 1/4 of an inch, and set the fence for a 1/2 inch cut. By running the board on both sides with the tongue against the fence, we create the completed tongue. To create the groove to match the tongue, we reset the Dado stack only using the 2 outside blades that will create a 1/4 inch thick groove. With the blade set to slightly over 1/2 inch in height, we set the fence to center on the piece and make the cut. That's a good fit. By repeating these operations on opposing sides of the boards, you can make plenty of tongue and groove flooring. For this operation, we're going to cut a dado in a cabinet side to hold the cabinet bottom. The 3/4 inch thick bottom will be set up from the bottom of the side by 3/4 of an inch. So our dado is actually at 1.5 inches up from the bottom. We can use our dado measuring gauge to confirm that the plywood is in fact 23/32 thick, not 3/4 of an inch. The DMG also shows us the proper blades to use to set up the 23/32 dado stack. With the stack in place, the fence is set to cut at 1.5 inches to the outside of the dado stack. The height of the stack is then set to 3/8 or 1/2 inch, depending on your preference. In our case, I've set the height to 1/2 inch. As you make the cut, remember to keep downward pressure applied to the board to keep the dado depth even along the cut. Not too tight, so it's a good fit. While we're working on a cabinet side, this is a good opportunity to add a rabbet to hold the 1/4 inch thick cabinet back. The rabbet will set in 1/2 inch from the back edge to allow fastening without sticking beyond the side of the cabinet. The same dado stack can be used and the height will stay at the 1/2 inch depth. The sacrificial fence is again added and the cut is set for 1/2 inch to the outside of the blade. The rabbet is run along the inside back edge of the board. With the bottom in place, the back is set into the rabbet and held at the lower edge of the bottom for assembly. Next we'll use the rabbet joint again, but in this case we'll use it as drawer joinery. To add more strength to a glue joint, you add surfaces that will mate. By cutting a rabbet into the drawer front to mate with the drawer side, you add physical strength and extra glue strength. I'm using a crosscut sled to make this work easier, and I'm setting the dado stack height to 1/2 inch above the surface of the sled. I then nudge the board into place with the edge of the dado stack touching my marked rabbet location. I then set a clamp in place to hold the board still during the cut. Because my dado stack is only 5/8 of an inch wide, I'll make 2 passes to complete the rabbet. This saves time rebuilding the dado stack for every operation. Our finished drawer corner is stronger and more accurate with the use of a rabbet. Our last joint is also technically a rabbet, but because of how it's used, it's referred to as a shiplap joint. Used to add mechanical strength to where 2 boards meet, the joint is historically used to build the sides of ships, making them strong and watertight. We'll again use the sacrificial fence and set the fence for a 1/4 inch wide cut. Though we want to remove 3/8 of an inch of the material, we'll leave the dado height at around 1/4 of an inch high as we make the first pass. The idea on shiplaps is to sneak up on the perfect fit, so after the first pass the pieces are tested against one another. The blade is raised slightly and the cut is made again. Remember, with each change in height the difference is doubled as the cut is made on both pieces. With 2 adjustments, a perfect fit. These are just a hint of the applications possible with a dado stack. Just one of the great tools available from Infinity Tools.